All right. Good morning. I'm reading The Art of Focus by Dan Coe. My name's Jessie, and I'm on page 101. It's about halfway through the book now. Okay, day 25. To help illustrate this difference in human consciousness, we can observe apes. Our furry predecessors do not plan or ask questions to the degree that we do. A human, with time and practice, can throw a football and hit a bullseye from 50 yards out, as can we create a vision for the future and actualize that reality through conscious practice. An ape, on the other hand, can fling feces, but it usually ends up straight on the ground in front of them. I'm assuming that you don't want to be feces flung at the ground, which stresses the importance of going beyond yourself through your creative ability, not regressing into your animalistic nature. Human understanding, which has a direct correlation with quality of life, comes down to asking quality questions. Apes don't do this. They can learn sign language and communicate in a half baked manner, but to my knowledge, they don't attempt to create new knowledge through questioning. They don't realize that other beings can know things they don't. As a thought experiment, let's look at a common ingredient like honey. Simply asking, where was this honey made, can lead me down a rabbit hole of discovery. I can follow that line of questioning to the bees that made it, the pollinated flowers, the beekeepers involved, and their ethical treatment of bees, where the honey was distributed across the globe, what meals the honey is used for, the health benefit of raw and unfiltered honey, the health detriments of processed honey, when bees emerged on the evolutionary timeline, what their purpose is in more than just ecological function, and how any of that information can help in the achievement of my goals. Everything you see has an iceberg of understanding beneath the surface. Observe and question. You can try to apply this same practice to any negative thought, emotion, or situation that you do not enjoy. Question it. Follow it to its source. Observe how all the moving components in the system impact your life, both right now and onward into your ideal future. Understanding your problems means to perceive them from the highest level of mind available to you. From that expanded perspective, you can begin to experiment, iterate, and create a long term personal solution. For now, attempt to adopt the perspective of your ideal self. Perceive situations through their lens and embody their values through action. Who do you want to become? What actions does that identity perform daily? And how can you integrate that into your current lifestyle, regardless of how long you spend on those activities? Problems are only problems if you interpret them that way. If you don't feel like getting out of bed, zoom out and realize how measly your problem is from a higher perspective. With time, you can seek to zoom out further and embody the perspective of the universe. What behavior is your problem influencing, and how does it impact the world as would a jar of honey? Can you make sense and find relief in the fact that your situation matches the ebb and flow of the universe? Are you a slave to fabricated expectations of reality? Or can you zoom out and see life for what it is? The actions you take or lack thereof have a widespread impact on your future that can't be seen through the lens of your problem. Problems that prevent positive choices can only be solved by the emergence of a new perception that stems from a higher level of mind. When mental battles are at your doorstep, don't fight with it, flow with it. Pause, zoom out, observe, and when you gain clarity through the intangible resources you've acquired, dive back in and execute with focused effort. 125 billion bits. The conscious mind can process 50 bits of information per second. If you live until the ripe age of 80 years old, you can process around 125 billion bits of information in your lifetime. This information is processed through focus, which expends mental energy and results in varying quality of experience. A large chunk of that information will be processed by necessities like grooming, cooking, and running errands. The rest will be processed by work, rest, play, and the distractions that pull you away from giving your full attention to meaningful living. Imagine your life potential as the 125 billion bits of information you can process. If your focus isn't strategic and you become a victim of modern mental enslavement, your potential is already decided. Your attention will be manhandled, Your sense of self will be an unconscious monstrosity, and you will end up an average clone without your knowing. Nobody wants to wake up wondering where the time or information went. The unconscious mind can process 11 million bits of information per second. This is incredible and shines a light on the fact that most of what we think, say, and do is not an absolutely conscious decision. As we improve our mental skill that is built by our physical, spiritual, and financial development, life becomes more enjoyable with time and practice. Learning how to walk is a skill. It's as difficult, if not more difficult, than learning how to build a cash cow software business. Once that skill is acquired, you can expend a fraction of the mental energy and stat complementary skills through focus until you create a powerful character. As we learn and become more comfortable with any aspect of reality, that information is stored and used by the unconscious mind. Do you have to think about walking, or do you just walk? Do you know how you're doing it, or do you just do it? I'm not asking for a scientific break. I'm not asking for a scientific breakdown of the knowledge, proof, and labels that came into existence after our ability to walk. I'm assuming you don't hold every muscle fiber and biomechanical formula in your mind while strolling down the street. In fact, walking is close to nothing compared to the unconscious universal processes unfolding all around you. The default state of consciousness is chaos. You have experienced this before. Unless your mind is engaged with a thought, task, or stimulus, it will wander off in a negative direction, anxiety, or boredom. When we allow randomness into our lives, negativity increases in potential. All right, that's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon or evening, and take care.